Hey everyone, welcome back. So in the last video, we optimized our code and we created components, our own user-defined components, right? And we put it in different files and then we imported those files into our app.js file and clubbed it all together. We successfully completed our feed section and it looks something like this. We have a vertical scroll and then going for on the top we have a horizontal scroll for our stories also, right? Now the only thing that is left is the bottom navigation right here. So it will be just a bar here which will contain 1, 2, 3, 4 icons, or maybe let's see how many icons does Instagram have. 5 icons, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 icons. Okay. So we'll be putting 5 icons here, and it will just be for display. It won't be clickable. It won't be navigatable because we do not have any screens implemented, and we did not go through React navigation also. Right? React navigation is a huge topic in itself. So we'll just use a display bottom navigation bar for now. So let's see how we can do that. We'll head over to Visual Studio Code. We will create a new view here. Now right now as you can see we are inside app.js only. In the app.js first we have the header container and then we have the story container. Post that we have the list where we show the feeds, and now we are creating a container for our bottom navigation. Let's give it a style value of styles and bottom nav. Let's call it that, and we'll add some icons. So before that let's give some styling to it. Okay, we'll add a style. We'll just give it a border color of red and border width of 5 maybe. Okay, so let's see how this is coming up. Yeah, we have a small thing over here. Right now we need it to be a little bit bigger. So let's define the screen in such a way that we are able to accommodate this. Okay, we'll be making use of something called as flex here. Okay, let's see how we can do that. So we have a container, main container, which contains everything. There is a flex one, means occupy the whole screen, and inside that we have 3 containers. 4 containers. 3 this one and 4. Okay, so let's put a flat list also inside a view container for better clarity. We'll name this style. We will give it a styles value and call it feed container. We'll just copy this and add a style over here. Yeah, let's also give this a border value and just change the color for now. This will be black. So as you can see, this is our view, and this is our feed view, and this is our this small thing here which is not visible now is our bottom nav view. Now let's align this in such a way that everything is visible properly. Okay, we'll give the feed container a flex value of let's say 5. Okay, and I'm going to give my bottom nav a flex value of 1, and I'll give my header container which is basically this part right here. No, we need to give a flex for our story container. Our story container will have a flex value of 2. Let's see how it looks like now. So this our story container is good, it's decent looking. Our feeds have shrunken a little bit, and our bottom nav bar has increased in size. So let's give a border for our story container also, and we'll be able to see what is actually happening with flex, because it's kind of an important topic. Just give it green. Yeah, perfect, right? Everything looks good enough. Now, this is how flex defines or divides a screen. Okay, so I've given a flex value 2 here, 5 here, and 1 here. Now the whole screen will be divided in such a way that we'll take the whole sum of it. How much is 5 plus 2? We'll make it a round figure. Let's do that. I'll keep this flex 1, keep this 5, and this one was 2, right? 8. Let's make it 10. I'll make this 2 and I'll make this 3. Now it's 10, right? So 5 for the feed container, 2 for the bottom nav bar, and 3 for the story container, which is like this. So it is divided in such a way that the screen is divided by the percentage value we give the flex. So 50% will be occupied by this. These two combined will be 50%, 30% will be story, and 20% will be bottom nav bar. That is why the value 3. 2 and 5 signifies. Okay. Now in our case we can reduce the height of the story, right? So let's reduce the percentage of story to maybe 2. Save it. It has shrunken, but still this is occupying 20%, this is occupying 20%, this is occupying 5%. So let's increase that. Let's increase the value of the feed. We'll give this a value of 6 and see. Yeah, it has increased a little bit. Let's decrease the value for our bottom nav a little. We'll make this 1 and see how it looks. Yeah, looking much better now. We have the bottom nav over here. We can, I think, decrease it a little bit more. I will give this value 0.6 and maybe make this one 6.4 and see. I think this looks decent enough. So we have the feed in between. We have the story section coming up. I think we can reduce the story also a little bit, just a little bit. Let's give it 1.5, and we'll give that value also to our feed 7.1. Okay, no, it's actually breaking the story section. So let's revert that change. 2 is sufficient. Yeah, I think this is decent enough. Okay. Now, what do we have here? We have it. Let's take the sum of the values we have. 6.4, 0.6 will be 7, 2 will be 9. So that is how the percentage value will be divided among flex, as you can see evidently here. This is occupying 0.6 value, and this is the smallest one. This is occupying 6.4 flex value, and that is how this is defined. And the same goes for story also, right? Now let's remove the borders and bring our old UI back, and I think we should be having a proper UI definition. Save it. Yeah, and everything looks fine. We have the feed, we have the story, and we have the area to put our bottom nav bar on the bottom. Okay, so let's give some values, put some values inside. Let's format the code a little bit. Perfect. We'll add some icons inside our bottom nav bar. Let's copy the image from here. We paste it 1, 1, 4, 5. We have 5 items. Format a little bit. The first one will be home. We have the home image coming up here. Yes, we do. Home is there. Then we have, in the real one, we have a search icon. So let's do a search over here. Search, and then we need to put the plus icon. So plus, and the last one is anyway profile. So let's do that. So what else do we need to give? A heart icon. Definitely we can do that. Heart. Okay. Now let's see how it looks on the UI. It is giving us an error. Okay, it is saying profile.png doesn't exist. Let's see what is the name we've given. User. It's user.png, not profile.png. So let's change profile.png to user.png. Yeah, so we have one item here. Where does the rest of item go? They are aligned one below the other. So as I mentioned, dynamically the UIs will be aligned one below the other only vertically. You need to mention that come in the row wise manner, arrange them horizontally, then only it will come horizontally. So let's do that over there. We'll go to bottom nav bars design, which is here. We'll mention the flex direction as row. Save it, and it's coming perfectly fine. Now they're all crammed up together. We need equal spacing between them, right? So let's do that. Justify content. Sorry, space between. Save it and see. Yep. Now the bottom nav bar is perfectly aligned. Let's give it a padding, a little bit padding from the bottom. Okay. So let's give a margin value bottom of 10 and see how it looks. Yep, perfectly fine. Now if you have a well functioning, high functioning UI, Instagram UI, where you have the story section which is fully scrollable horizontally, you have a feed section which is fully scrollable vertically, implemented those using flat list. We have a bottom nav bar where we use flex to define its position on the screen. We got to learn how flex works, the significance of flex direction, how we can adjust the border radius to make a circular image, how we give the border, how flat lists work, how horizontal list works, and how vertical list work, how can we avoid the scroll indicator. Everything was covered, and we successfully completed the design of our Instagram homepage UI. Hope you guys were able to follow along. Before we wrap up, I would like to do a little bit of code, quality improvement also. Let's see what we can improve over here. Yeah, one thing we can improve over here is let's create a new component for bottom nav.js, bottom nav component.js. I will just simply copy this code over here. I copy these things, go to bottom nav bar, export default bottom nav component, let's copy the import statement directly from here. We missed an equal to sign over there, and then we need to put it inside a view tag. Just copy these, put it inside. We need to add the styling for it, so let's do that also. Const styles is equal to style sheet dot create. We created that. Let's copy the style from the app.js file. We'll copy the bottom nav bar style, we'll cut it, we'll put it over here and paste it. So I think we can keep this over there only. We don't need this over here. We just need the logo style over there. So we'll copy it, and because we only have the style pointing to logo style, that's why we did that. Okay. So we have the bottom component defined properly. Let's format this code. Yeah, very good. Now we'll go over here. We'll just remove all this and just simply call bottom nav component. So since we used the autocomplete from Visual Studio Code, when the autocomplete happened, it automatically imported bottom nav bar also for me. That is why I did not have to import it manually. Okay. So if I just click over here, it will take me to bottom nav bar. Let's see how it looks like. There is an error. Okay. So in the last video also we faced this error. So what was this error anyway? Let's see. As you can see, I am looking for image inside .assets/home.png, but I am inside the components folder now, and assets is outside of components folder. I need to go outside of components folder to look for assets. With a single dot, what it does is, since bottom nav component is inside the components folder, it will only look for assets inside this. It is not going outside and looking. So for that to happen, we need to give one more dot over here. Now what this second dot does is, it will take the control outside of components folder, and then it will look for the assets folder. There is assets folder, it will open that up and it will find the home.png. Now let's make that change everywhere and see if it fixes our error. Save it. Perfect. There is a small issue here. Let's see what that issue is. It is coming vertically. What happened there? Let's see. We have the view over here. Bottom nav component over here. Okay. We'll just remove the style from here. We'll give the style to the view over view here. Just put the bottom nav bar, copy the style and put it inside our bottom nav bar only, because it belongs there. Now go save it. If we go there, everything is coming as expected. Nothing, we just simply copied the style for the underlying view and we just simply imported bottom nav component over here. Now the plus point of this is, we can use this anywhere. We can, let's say we implemented the search screen now tomorrow, and then we implemented the profile page and the like screen. Everywhere we need to use this component, and we will be able to just call this everywhere. No need of writing this whole underlying code again and again. We can just simply call this again and again, and it will be printed out. It will be displayed in the UI. Now that's all for our React series where we build the Instagram UI homepage, right? And you should follow our channel. We'll be uploading much more content with respect to Java, with respect to web development, mobile development, various technologies. We'll be covering Jetpack Compose, we'll be covering Flutter, and so on and so forth. So don't forget to subscribe and follow us on Instagram. Thank you.